Hello everyone, this is Quantic giving you a shoutcast and a game from DreamHack. I think DreamHack ISO. Over the weekend, there has been a lot of tournaments going on, and now IPL is coming up. But let's focus on this game. This game, I believe, was taken from one of the group stages. Early on, it wasn't in the finals or in the elimination brackets. It is going to be Quantic's STC spawning as the red Terran player. Meanwhile, he will be playing up against Stephano. Now, this is EG Stephano, and this is also Quantic State, or sorry, Quantic STC, not Quantic State. I apologize. I am going to get so confused by that. State is actually a Protoss player. STC is a Terran player, and that is how I know the difference. Apparently, STC had to borrow State's account here, as we do have the good luck, have fun coming in from Stephano. State... STC, a really nice guy. Got to meet him at a local barcraft in San Diego. Shout out to the SoCal esports barcraft scene, as I forgot to put my away message up. All right. All right, so Ginger Rabbit, you red-headed rabbit, you got to make a cameo appearance here on my shoutcast. Now, it looks like STC will be going for a very fast command center here on Metropolis, and it looks like Stephano will be doing the same thing as well. So it is going to be a fast hatchery and also a fast command center coming in from both of these players. You can see the command center is being built here on the front door. Very smart positioning, since Terran players can or lift up their buildings and lift off and land. Build them where you can. Build them with a lot of protection, and then lift them off and land them when you need to. You can see now Stephano is opening up with a standard spawning pool here, and I'm curious if Stephano will be taking up this additional base sometime around the 4-minute mark. STC at some point does need a scout. He needs to know if this is going to be some sort of 2-base aggression, or if this will turn into a full-fledged economic game. An Overlord is going to be positioning itself off in this dead zone right here. Marines cannot shoot up onto the high ground until a building or some other unit does offer sight. That Overlord just pretty much going to park itself there, as we are seeing drones now waiting for this hatchery to get completed. Now, I am curious as to what STC is going to follow up here. He still hasn't taken any gas as of yet. We can now see one SCV is moving out and across the map to do a bit of scouting. And what I believe STC is going to do here is take a look and see if there is a third base. If there is a third base, he may actually build a command center of his own inside his base once more, and then allow that to be a more equalizing economic game factor. Let's take a look around here. He's going to spot that his opponent still doesn't have gas. Queens are going to be coming out, and STC is still doing a little bit of this really dangerous dance. STC now running away with that SCV. It looks as though it will get taken down there. You can see the damage being dealt. There it goes, getting taken down. Getting taken down once more, and unable to spot whether or not an expansion was taken here. Now, a liftoff and landing of an additional command center by STC at the natural, and by the looks of it, STC does suspect that Stephano is going for this third base. By not seeing any gas early on, he suspected that, and now he's establishing up an additional command center here at the 9 o'clock position. SCVs are still going to go ahead and continue to build up this front wall here, and this is going to be a long economic game coming in from these players, as STC now once again grabbing two additional refineries. Alright, Marines are now making their way across the map. You can see Queens are in position here. They are not going to be able to fight off of creep all too well. The Marines have to be very careful, as a bunker may be established in order to at least force a cancellation. However, the timing and the response from Stephano will be for Zerglings. Zerglings are going to come out rather quickly, as you can see a bunker now being established. One easy Overlord looks like it will get taken down. Queens are trying to make their way over, but it may not get up in time, as we are seeing this hatchery perhaps going to get cancelled. Stephano waiting till the last possible minute. If at all possible there. You can see Stephano currently is supply blocked, and the hatchery is completed. Bunker 1 has been completed, and now what we are going to see Stephano do is just look to charge in with these queens, as the Zerglings are now making their way over. SCV perhaps should be doing some repairing, and what is going on here? That is not good at all. Salvaging of that bunker. Is it going to be salvaged in time? I don't believe so. The Marines still fighting back here, doing a little bit of darting and dancing, and Stephano is going to be able to set up his third base with little to no effort. A beautiful hold by Stephano to hold on to this third base. There's, I believe, a cancellation once more. Otherwise, normally you see the text for a cancel for those refunded resources. I didn't see it, so perhaps we did see a lot of resources lost. Yes, STC did invest very heavily into that, and I'm just going to turn off that name tag so I don't get confused too much. We are now transitioning into Roach's 1-1 upgrades, as well as I love the placement here by STC. STC looking to not build the bunker straight up against the supply depots, because a number of things can happen. I believe the Baneling splash damage is actually far enough that it can hit units behind a supply depot wall. By adding in a little bit of room there, he only loses a small amount of range, but he still can fight back both against Roaches and Zerglings and Banelings. Down over here, rocks are getting cleared, and I'm taking a look at what STC is going for. STC looking to go for a very, very long economic game. Where is this starport going? He is going to be trying to add on a reactor, and now we are seeing level 1-1 upgrades. So both of these players are not going to be doing any strong engagement as of yet. Their armies are going to be rather small, less than 1,000 resources for STC, a little bit over 1,000 for Stephano, but there's not really much here that can destroy their opponent. We're going to see both of these players play a bit defensively. One Hellion on the far side of the map, keeping track of when this base will be established, as now a Roach going to be slipping inside, and Stephano now knows about this additional base here. It is going to be 3 bases to 3 bases for a little while. 100 seconds from now, Stephano will have another hatchery, and running on 4 bases is exactly what Stephano wants to do at this point. The only question is, will he have enough drones? Sitting on 67 drones, trying to hold on to 4 bases and mine effectively from them, you need about 80 workers, and is currently just short by 6. Wow, beautifully done there, as we still see more and more units coming across the production tab. Now, it looks as though STC is going to be going into that very traditional Terran bio with siege tanks, medevacs, perhaps double training medevacs, and a whole bunch of Marines. The Marines are going to be very, very vulnerable to those infestors, though, as fungal growths could land and deal a lot of damage. Now, I am a bit surprised that we don't see any Banelings on the field, as we are seeing 2 medevacs now making their way across the map. We are going into Aspire at the same time we are going into Hive Tech. It looks like Infestor Broodlord is going to be the combination of the future, as there are creep tumors all across the map on these island locations here. The Viking hunting for overlords, making sure that this drop is not going to get scouted out in time. Are these Marines going to be able to deal enough damage? 2 upgrades about to come in, as the Zerglings have just finished off over here. Here we go. Is the drop going to be coming in? Yes, it is going to be going straight up on the high ground, taking down those creep tumors there, and now dropping some Marines onto the low ground as well. Here we go. Zerglings now trying to come in. Is it going to be enough? Picking up those units. And now STC only losing a handful of units there, as the Marines are charging in and getting in some easy shots on some units in the open field. Zerglings, however, very, very fast on creep, able to deal a lot of damage and finish off there. So a little bit of a poke back and forth, as the Marines are still fighting off here. One Marine going to be able to finish off the extractor. There's the stim. Zerglings now trying to come in with the surround. the scanner sweep to see how many more reinforcements are coming in. Not very many, and STC decides to leave his units here. Finally gonna be going away once he realizes more units are reinforcing. STC currently sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4 bases. Nothing mining down over here. He could begin to strip mine, as there is one medevac doing a bit of flying. That medevac may get stuck in this corner. There is already a queen in position to help deal with this harassment, but Stephano does have a fair amount of drones here. We'll see how he responds, as the medevac now going to be coming back in once more. Medevacs are in the front here, as the 2-2 upgrades now leading way to 3-3. Medevac trying to unload, not going to be doing much of anything, as the roaches and zerglings clean that up nicely. Now, this middle portion of the game, all we're seeing STC do here is keep Stephano from being able to macro up too freely. If Stephano wasn't forced to spend a lot of his resources, you would see an even larger bank when he finally transitioned into that Infestor Broodlord. The Greater Spire and also an additional Spire has been completed, so we are going to be seeing level 1 weapons and armor upgrades, as we now see STC moving out to clear out some of these creep tumors. This is going to be a bit of a problem, though. Stephano has so much of the map in terms of control, as the Zerglings going to catch a couple of Marines out of position. Here we are again. Marines now trying to engage. Siege tanks now making their way over. STC with plenty of siege tanks there, able to deal some damage, shelling out against those Zerglings, and Stephano now knows better than to try to charge into this bottom position, as we now see a drop inside the main. Is it going to be able to take down the spawning pool? The spawning pool is taking a bit of damage, but a sea of Zerglings will quickly answer that problem there, as a Corruptor is going to chase down one medevac. That poor Marauder, is it going to be able to escape? I don't believe so. Oh, down it goes. Alright, another drop now happening in from the far side. Stephano now looking to take up this base. We are only 16 minutes into this game, and STC now with even more and more command centers being added all over the place, will be able to start mining very quickly. Zerglings now trying to charge in. 2-2 upgrades against 2-2 upgrades. Once again, all the units have been lifted back up and is in full retreat. STC does have 1-0 upgrades here, as the Marines are now making their way forward and clearing off many of these creep tumors. Alright, but the creep isn't receding fast enough, as the Zerglings are now running headlong into those groups of siege tanks. Not long for life at all, as STC decides to push in and then flank back out, knowing that he doesn't want to get caught on creep too far. We are now going into Raven Tech with missile upgrades, ship plating upgrades, auto-sec tracking, and armor plating on these Marines and Marauders. It looks like a drop could be coming in here. One Marine a little bit gung-ho, wants to go inside that medevac, even though there is no more room. STC now looking to establish up another command center here, and we are taking a look at a massive mining operation on all parts of the map by both of these players. Marines dropping here, but so far it doesn't really feel like STC has done really any serious damage. He is now trying to push his way in. You can see a fungal growth has landed, and still without any Broodlords, we are finally going into an Ultralisk Cavern. These medevacs are going to be retreating and now getting back up onto the high ground. Creep tumors do offer sight, though, as the Broodlords have arrived. Seeker missiles, Corvid reactor, and Ravens being added to this group. A planetary fortress off over here now being upgraded. Additional planetary fortresses here, making it very difficult for any serious attack of Zerglings to try and run by. More command centers coming in here, as we see STC now leading his SCVs like lambs to the slaughter, hoping to free up some additional supply there. The Queen's purposely backing off. SCVs are on auto attack. Workers are getting killed, but that is not going to amount to very much, as another drop is happening over here. Alright, here you go. The Marines are now coming in for some damage. How much damage will they do? Marauders and Marines battling it out. Corruptors now trying to make their way over, as Stephano now double expanding into the center portion of the map, down here on the bottom right and over here on the top left. STC really needs to actually deal some damage. He has not been trading very efficiently at all, and he hasn't done that much damage at all. You can take a look. Stephano sitting at over 12,000 resources, 12,000 resources in terms of his army, and still over 5,000 in terms of his bank. And STC is in trouble here. Marines now looking to clear out some of these creep tumors. Corruptors are making their way over, and STC needs to make sure that this base does not get operational. Vikings and Ravens are ready to go. We can see that there are Seeker missiles ready to go as well. Siege tanks and Marines being landed off. Orbital commands are in position. You can see a whole bunch of command centers now being placed down. Is he going to perhaps try to strip mine any more bases, as we are now going into level 2 ship upgrades? Zerglings and Roaches just simply walking straight up inside and going to perhaps be able to deal a little bit of damage as the Roaches are burrowing. One Roach now battling up here. Marines now trying to engage. Roaches of Stephano inside the base, causing some problems as another medevac getting taken and cleaned up off over here. SCVs in the middle of the map. Roaches are currently burrowed. The Roaches do not have a burrow move, but STC does not have any detection here, and this could spell problems, as Stephano having a couple Roaches inside the mineral line could put a halt to things. Alright, let's take a look at the losses. It is about 6,000 more resources lost for STC at this stage. A hatchery will get taken down over here by Stephano, but STC really feels like he's not really doing all that much. STC needs to figure out how to actually deal damage, and Stephano with so many worker kills now, I believe STC never wanted to go that low in terms of workers. He has a lot of minerals, but not that, and a lot of gas, but not as much as the bank of Stephano. A little of this very, very safe play coming in from both sides, but I still believe STC has a lot of ground to make up. He really needs to get those Vikings to deal a lot of damage in order to shut down these Corruptors, Infestors, and these Broodlords. STC now going up against Infestor Broodlord combination with Banelings and Corruptors as an escort. This is going to be a very, very bad day indeed. Over 15,000 resources in this army, and the Infestors have nearly max energy, so even if fungal growths do not land, so many infested Terrans and also Neuroparasite could turn things around rather quickly. Banelings now looking to make their way in. There is a planetary fortress off here. It should be able to intercept some of that damage. The Corruptors are ready to go. Scanner sweeps pretty much revealing any sort of attacks coming in from any sort of angle. And at this stage, I think STC is fairly confident that he can take this. He has the Ravens, he has the Vikings, and here we go. We might get into a bit of a flank here. There is some... Oh, what is going to be happening here? Are we going to see some Seeker missiles? No, we are not. There is a fungal growth. There's the hit. More attacks coming back in. Ravens all getting destroyed. Unable to launch even any point defense drones at this point, as Seeker missiles are coming down. Damage is being dealt. Seeker missiles hitting those Broodlords. Down they go. Both sides are fighting, but STC, I believe, has lost too much. The Vikings are in full retreat, and one bad engagement later, this is not looking good. Can we perhaps even see a point defense drone? That doesn't seem to be the case. There's some fungal growths now, and Stephano remaxing up with 25 additional Corruptors should have this game in the bag. 9 Broodlords should be the end of this in just a moment, as we see the Broodlords, Infestors, and Corruptors trying to move in here. Here we go. Here could be that last possible engagement. Ghost trying to get off some EMPs, does get one off on some of those Infestors, but the damage has already been dealt. The line has been broken. STC was not able to hold this off at all, and Stephano, with the entire Zerg swarm army behind him, will break STC down and take game 1 in this series. And there's the GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed Game 1. Stay tuned for Game 2.